From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. Police in Ohio confirmed 2 deaths resulting from a fierce storm system that unleashed suspected twisters and damaged homes and businesses in parts of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. In Lakeview, Ohio, Amber Fagan, the president and CEO of Indian Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, says the area was hit hard.
Laundromat is gone. The old plastics building is just completely demolished. Downtown, it's bad.
Authorities said there would likely be more fatalities discovered in Lakeview and other locales as the path of the storm is cleaned up. A program that helps rural and northern Ontario hospitals avoid temporary ER closures is set to expire at the end of the month, and there's been no signal from the government as to whether it will be extended, made permanent, or simply end. Many of the province's more isolated hospitals rely on doctors from urban areas filling shifts on what is known as a locum basis, and they're paid a premium for it. The program is set to expire March 31st, and so far the government hasn't said if it will be extended. NDP health critic France Galinas says even if it is renewed, it's too last minute.
There are no Uber physicians who are just waiting for the phone to ring so they can go up north. That don't exist. I mean, they book their locum like a long time in advance.
The government has extended the program a few times before, but Galinas says it should just be made permanent. The leaders of Germany, France, and Poland are all set to meet in Berlin in order to discuss support for Ukraine. The goal is to find a signal of unity and solidarity for Kyiv as it grapples with a shortage of military resources and Russia gains ground. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is welcoming French President Emmanuel Macron and Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk in a summit of the so-called Weimar Triangle, the 3 major European powers. The European Union's plans to produce 1 million artillery shells for Ukraine have fallen well short, while aid for Ukraine is being held up in the United States by political differences. The father of a Michigan school shooter has been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Count 1, involuntary manslaughter as to Madison Baldwin.
In Michigan,
guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
A jury 4-person reading the verdicts against James Crumbley.
Count 2, involuntary manslaughter as to Tate Mir.
In all, 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the 4 students killed at Oxford High School in 2021 by his son. Ethan Crumbley is serving a life sentence for murder and terrorism. James Crumbley bought the gun his son used. He and his wife were accused of failing to secure that gun and doing nothing to address their son's mental health problems. Jennifer Crumbley was convicted last month. They're the first parents in the U.S. to be charged in a mass school shooting. I'm Ben Thomas.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, just 2 games on the NHL schedule tonight. Connor Hellebuyck and the Jets host the slumping Anaheim Ducks in Winnipeg, while the Los Angeles Kings will visit Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks in Chicago. The Toronto Blue Jays will look to stretch their win streak to 5 when they host the Detroit Tigers in preseason play. Toronto downed Minnesota's Twins 5-1, collecting its 4th straight victory yesterday. Bowden Francis threw 2 strikeouts and allowed 4 hits and 1 run in 6 innings on the mound for the Jays. The Toronto Raptors will look to snap a 5-game losing skid tonight when they host the Orlando Magic. Toronto dropped a 113-104 decision to the Pistons in Detroit on Wednesday and currently sit 12th in the Eastern Conference. Toronto Raptors star R.J. Barrett is mourning the death of his younger brother. Nathan Tyler Barrett passed away, and the Raptors and Canada Basketball shared a statement from the Barrett family saying they are honoring him and request their privacy. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.